right. So far, hey Nick, can you check out and see if I'm there?
Finishing this one. Go now.
I don't know if anybody can see me, so this will be pretty good. I think it's gonna be kind of fun.
You're good. Your picture's good. Your sound's good.
Are you on YouTube on all the platforms or whatever? And we're gonna see where we're at. I'm gonna start talking to people. All right, I'm seeing a lot of people come on. So YouTube, I guess. Can you guys hear me too as well? Hopefully, we just put a new microphone, so hopefully that's good. And hope people can do. I got a bunch of stuff to update today. All right, yeah. Yep. All right, Huck. Thank you very much, Huck 21. All right, they can hear me. All right, I don't even have to yell. I'm going to get into a bunch of stuff today. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Yes, there's going to be a major P. Diddy update on this live, and I'll tell you why. Something came out today. I was mesmerized, if you want to call it that, or I was blown away, good, bad, or indifferent. You want to call it what it is. I didn't like it. I'm being honest. I thought it was terrible. Thanks for the 5, buddy. 6F5. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And I don't want to see that at all. What happened on that P. Diddy case? I'm gonna tell you where I'm at. Still, listen. I'm still a person who believes. Hey, listen. We all need to take a step back and hear these things go. And I say that in all due respect to everybody involved. They're saying that there's going to be some major names. Now, this is not the government. And I'll tell you why. Let me jump on a major topic. I said this is going to be a new thing. Here it is, October 1st. I'm going to be doing once a month at minimum, the first of the month, right around the first of the month. We're going to be doing a live stream. And I'm going to put it on all the platforms, and we're going to talk about trending topics. Today's trending topic, I'll tell you what, man, I am telling you this one is pretty wild. This is Pete Rose. Pete Rose. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows what happened with Pete Rose. Pete Rose passed away at 83 today. I was on a plane with Pete Rose, gambled with Pete Rose. Pete Rose was a great guy. I don't think he should have been in the Hall of Fame with 4,256 hits. Not even close. People hit 3,000, and it's the biggest milestone in the world. And here he is at 4,256. Nobody close to him. The next one, I think, on 4,000 is right about Ty Cobb. So I think that's amazing. And I'm going to show you a couple of stats here we're going to go over. Look at this guy, Pete Rose. When I say look at him, look at his record. He had a 303 batting average. Right here, you can look, guys. Right here, 303 batting average. 4,256 hits. 160 home runs. Wasn't a great home run hitter. Runs batted in 13. He was a leadoff hitter. You're not going to get many there. Managerial record, over 500. 412 to 373, which is a pretty good managerial record. Played for the Cincinnati Reds, Philadelphia Phillies, my choice, but back to the Reds. Then he managed the Reds. That's where he got in trouble, the way they said the games. But look at this, guys. 17-time All-Star. That's amazing. 3-time World Series champ, National League MVP, World Series MVP, NL Rookie of the Year, 2-time Gold Glove Award, Silver Slugger Award, Roberto Clemente Award, 3-time National League batting champion, Cincinnati Reds number 14 retired, Reds Hall of Fame, Major League Baseball All-Century team. Now, if anybody doesn't know, Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame because of his gambling. I think that was a lot of bullshit because what he did on the field is what counts. I don't believe Pete Rose ever at all. Pete Rose never, people. In my mind, Pete Rose never gambled he gambled on his team, but he did not gamble against the Reds or put his team at risk in any way at all. No way. I don't believe that for 1 second. So when you look at this, career at bats, 14,000. If there was an award, his nickname, people, was Charlie Hustle. Now, that is where everybody don't get it. His nickname was Charlie Hustle. And Dark Knight, thanks for the 5. I appreciate it. What are your thoughts on Usher giving guardianship of Justin Bieber? For 48 hours. We're going to get into that. That's the next topic, but that's a trending topic. I wanted to just talk about Pete Rose here for a minute. We'll get with it, Dark Knight, for sure. So Pete Rose, to me, obviously one of the best that ever lived. He really is. And he was a hustler, man. He never gave up. He could be in the bottom of the ninth and 2 outs, and he never gave up, ever. And that was his claim. He wanted the most out of anybody. That's what he wanted. And I think that's really important to know. So anybody who wants to talk about Pete Rose in any way, just remember something. Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle. He had a bar, and I want to make a studio like what Pete Rose did in South Florida in Boca Raton. He had a restaurant called Pete's. And he had actually a radio show, and he was behind the glass, and people would eat and everything else, drink, and they could hear the show. And I'd love to do that with something like what we're doing. I think that would be pretty cool, to be honest with you. I think we could really make something cool about that. That's just what I'm thinking. Now, I'm going to get into a couple of things. Now, I'm not going to answer many things here because I'm going to take this and cut this for a video a little bit too. First of all, I put out a video, and I still believe this. You have to give P. Diddy his day in court. But what came out today has me pissed off. And it's not by the government. That's another thing. A law firm came out, had a press conference, and P. Diddy, this thing is just sickening at me, and this is why I'm mad about it a little, I guess, if you want to consider mad about it. There's no such thing as being mad about it, but if it's true, these allegations, it's the first time I'm hearing about it. And boy, it changed me a lot today. I literally waited for Nick to come to work, and then we were talking about it right off the bat. I said, did you see what happened? P. Diddy, a law firm out of Texas, has 120 people who they've signed up. They vetted 3,200 and something people. They vetted who called their asses saying they had sex or whatever or were at these freak offs. Now, the party doesn't bother me, people. Not at all. Listen, who cares? But there's 25 people who are saying that they had sex or he had sex with P. Diddy himself, and other celebrities. So this list is coming out is going to be crazy. And if that is the case, one was 9 years old, one was 15 years old, 14 years old. That pisses me off in a big way, people. It really does. Look right here. When we talk about the ages of the victims, right here, when we talk about the ages of the victims, about when the conduct occurred, it's shocking, Busby said during conference. The youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15 years old. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs, they're plaintiffs now, in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of these acts complained of is very wide. The conduct of issues spans from the years 1991 all the way to the year 2024. Yes, this year. So that, to me, people, has me a little bit like, are you kidding me? I mean, and that's what I'm looking at. And I don't like it at all. And it kind of pisses me off. Now, P. Diddy's camp is saying what they said. He looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court if and when claims are filed and served, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation. I agree with that 100%. Now, again, I am not here in one bit going to support anything to do with kids. Now, are people money grabbing again? I don't know. I think other people. But, when you have an attorney now, we're not talking about the government. The government could do a lot of shit. You know what I was pissed about the government the more I thought about it yesterday, before even this came out, guys? I don't like the fact that the federal government has these tapes with compromising positions of other celebrities. And I'm not talking, listen, let me get it really clear. If it's anything to do with minors, they should cut their heads off. I said it, cut their heads off. If it has anything to do with minors. If it is consenting adults, and you hear what I said, consenting adults, and that means not being drugged, not knowingly, are these people going to have 20 people say we had to give this guy 10 grand? Because what they're saying is that if the accusations of this law firm, and now these are all civil cases, I expect after this came out, very, very shortly, you're going to see an indictment, superseding indictment. And if that comes, I don't know what's going to happen. There is chances of a lot. Now, what powerful people were at these events? Again, I saw pictures of LeBron James and Oprah Winfrey and Barack Obama and everybody at these events. Does that mean they participated in anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if they did, and it's with a girl and they just were with some woman in there, that is not our business, to be honest with you. Also, what worries me about the government, and I want you guys to chime in, but what worries me about the government is that they have these tapes. Are they going to hold these tapes over people's heads? Listen, when COVID came out, how much did they hold over people's heads? They had celebrities. This is known on X or Twitter at the time. They're persuading people to go out and say, go get vaxxed. We need you. We need you. Now they got a tape over their head of them having a compromising position with another guy or something like that. Or if he's married, even another woman. That's a powerful thing. And if you don't think the federal government will hold that over their heads, then you're mistaken and you don't really know how the system works. And please don't be one of these people who just believe the government. I said that in a video the other day. So I want you to start really thinking about what I'm talking about here. This law firm who came out with these accusations, they have 120 people, 60 men, 60 women. They vetted 3,200 and something, and they picked 120, which I guess those are the ones that they thought. How ironic is it 60 and 60? Is it really 60 and 60, or would it be, 63 and 40 something? I mean, it's just weird on my part to think like, oh, it's exactly 60 and 60. But we're going to hear about that. There is 43% are African American, or 63% African American, 30% white, and the remaining Hispanic and American Indian, or not American Indian, Asian. So, if anything, Diddy is not a prejudiced dude when it comes to that. I'll tell you that. So you can think what you want on that. I think it's sad if this is true. And if it's true, it's on a bigger scale. This is on the scale of Pizzagate, the old rumor of the pizza place where they were doing things in Washington. That really is, if it's true. If it's true. I said we need to give people the benefit of the doubt. But, I'm even taken back. If they could prove a little bit. See, when they go in front of a judge for bail, and the judge gets to see a lot of this stuff, where they're going to present stuff, the judge wants to see it. Because he's got to make a determination. And it does not mean the appellate court, which they are filing for bail into the appellate court. The appellate court could say, you know what? Give him bail. That's what we're about. I still think they should, because I think they can monitor him in such a way, and I think he would have a better way for defense of his own case, and that's part of what we need. and it's part of the Constitution. You have a right to, one, confront your accusers and face your accusers and give and aid in your defense. That's why a person who has a very low IQ, I think it's under 70 or under 60 something, if you have an IQ that low, you are mentally not able to stand trial because you can't aid in your defense. That's really what it's about. You're not competent enough to aid in your defense, and that's what it is about. Now, if that's the case, and that is the case with the Diddy case, nobody's saying anybody has a low IQ because these guys built businesses and everything else. But like I said in the other video, there's going to be a lot of people being indicted on this case. And who's going to be indicted? I'll tell you what. I don't know who the assistant of Diddy was, but I think that person's going to prison. If that's the person who knew. And, listen, if anybody knew about this stuff and they knew that there were kids in there, I'm really disturbed about that. And, everybody says this Bieber. Listen, if Justin Bieber came out and said, hey, listen, this happened to me, Meek Mill is still not saying anything that happened to him. I think he's been outed as probably being gay, I would assume, or bisexual at the very least, which I could care less what he did with Diddy in the house. If he's an adult, and he was an adult, nobody is claiming that. I am really on that fence now, and you guys know the way I am. I tell it like it is, and I'm not going to stop that. I was a little disturbed to hear, and again, more so because it's a law firm that can't put their name on stuff without doing stuff. This is civil suits, but you could get charged criminally by filing false stuff. So, and I'm sure the government's going to vet these people just as well as this law firm, and better. And what do they know? I'll tell you what I really think is happening. There's a lot of people running and hiding right now. I also believe, and I don't want to believe this, but I do believe it's going to happen. I think the federal government is going to hold over the head of a lot of people these tapes. I don't think you're going to see the tapes. And I think there's a lot of people that are going to, there's stuff on those tapes, whether it's consensual or not, in compromising positions. And guess who's got those videos now? The government. And if you don't think the government's going to use those tapes to control people, then you are smack out of whack because you don't understand how they work. And I do believe they would do that. Now, everybody's saying, oh, Diddy did that. Diddy made the tape so that can happen. I have not heard anybody say that Diddy held the tape over their head. Obviously, 3,000 people just called an office, 3,200 something. So obviously, those people aren't worried about Diddy having tapes. And whatever celebrities are out there, believe me, they're going to have, if it's all true, you're going to have a bunch of celebrities come out and try to get in front of this. Their PR people tell them to do that. What I'm going to try to do is bring on a media consultant who I know very well and ask him how he would advise clients to address this whole situation. He that's what he does. He's a media trainer. And I want to get him on here and have him discuss right here what is going on, because I think they need to do that. I really do. I think people need to do exactly that. And if that happens, who's going to jump on the bus first? And here's another thing. If you're not a witness for the federal government, if you're not turning evidence on whoever it is, then you're going to be part of the indictment. And you could be part of that indictment, and then you're going to get what they call a 5K1, which is before you get sentenced. If you were facing 10 years, you were going to get a reduced sentence under what's called a downward departure under a 5K1. Now that can happen, and I think that will happen. And I think you're going to see some big names, and I'm not going to be shocked. I'll tell you what, I won't be shocked. And listen, guys, I'm not a young kid. I'm going to be 63 years old in a few days. Matter of fact, thank you for the happy birthday wishes, everybody. People who did that, I really appreciate it. I'm not 63 yet. I'll be 63 in a couple of days. But I am not shocked because I've seen a lot of crazy shit. And listen, that doesn't mean I didn't want to go to a party. But if I saw anything at that party that had to do anything with underage people, I would have ripped somebody's head off. I really mean that. I couldn't do it. Whether they shoot me, whether they get me or whatever, I could not sit there. And I'm not the kind of guy to go to the police. Don't get me wrong. If I went to the police on this one, have at it. Do whatever you want. But I am not the kind of guy. I would do something right then and there. People say, well, I saw something. I had to go home and think about it. How do you sleep? If there was a 9-year-old kid there and I saw an adult doing something to a 9-year-old, I would mess him up. Trust me, I would do that. And I would do it in a big way. So, I mean, I totally understand that, but I am not of the ilk myself, people, to think, oh, this is going to happen to somebody, but no, it's not really happening. Maybe I should think about it. Did he want it? No. If it's an under 18-year-old person, they do not have the permission or the adult or the wherewithal or even the legality of giving consent themselves. They can't do that. So it's not like, oh, they gave consent. No such thing. You have a 9-year-old. Let me tell you how the law states too. In the federal law, there's another charge for having sex with under 12-year-old. So if Diddy did do this to this person, 9 years old, which they're claiming, and they were on a news conference today. I implore you to go check it out. It was on Fox. You can go on YouTube and check it out. And if that is what happened, Diddy should get his balls cut right off. I mean, and then I don't know what he thinks he can do with tapes or if he has something over someone, because the feds got him now. And unless there's a lot bigger people, and who knows? Maybe there are. And I don't mean just a Jay-Z or a Barack Obama. Who could it be? Obviously, a president would be major stuff. And I think that's just crazy. And I think there's going to be politicians involved. I think there's politicians involved anyway. If it's just adults now drugging the people. They were talking about ketamine. They were talking about horse tranquilizer, which is ketamine. They were talking about GHB, like a date rape drug. Listen, if people are drugging other people, I said something in another thing. I says, I don't even know why anybody would want somebody who did that. I mean, I couldn't even imagine myself, I don't know, getting excited for somebody who's so drugged up they don't know what's going on. I had some crazy comments thrown at me the other night, and I looked at it and I got. I went back and I looked at some of the comments and somebody said, Larry, are you getting mad? Well, it's not about getting mad. I think people get me wrong. I never, ever said Giddy was innocent or guilty. I said he does deserve his day in court. And what to this minute bothers me most, people, and I want you to remember this, is that the government has these tapes. And if you don't think the government's going to hold these tapes over people, to do whatever, vote, support another COVID vaccine that we now know. I had a blood clot. I don't know if anybody knew that. I almost died. I was in the hospital. I had what they call a PE, a pulmonary embolism, which means a blood clot went to my lung. I'm lucky I'm alive. It was up to my brother. He saved my life. And Nick here in the office. If it wasn't for those two, I would be dead. And I never had a blood clot in my life. You hear that? I'm a healthy guy. I have my regular issues and stuff, but I am never had a blood clot in my life. And all of a sudden, I'm getting blood clot. I got a blood clot, a PE, which broke off and went to my lung. Come on, guys. So, and I know the government will hold that over people's heads. That's the way they are. And it drives me crazy to think like that. But it's true. I'm not a fresh out of law school. I'm not a fresh kid who believes rah, rah, rah. And I was rah, rah, rah government. I'm a military man. I still believe in my country. But I am not naive enough to believe that this government won't play games. and this government is not as corrupt as any damn other one. That's why it pissed me off with the Live Golf. And we're against Saudi Arabia because they killed Khashoggi, which is the reporter. Not right at all. But you don't think the United States has done that? Not only that, everybody who said, oh, we should ban the PGA for that because they had a golf tournament in Saudi Arabia. So did the PGA Tour. And so does all your 401k plans have investments in Saudi Arabia-owned companies. So let's stop the bullshit about being all pure and right with life. Just, maybe it's because I am getting older and a little bit more tired of life and stuff like that. It's so funny, man. Everybody says, Larry, the way you're talking, and end up dead yourself and probably with government. I don't believe that. I don't think I know enough. But, I don't put anything by the government. I really don't. I hate to say that, and that's just what it is. And the more you think about it, people, the more I say, hold on. What's going on? So if you don't think the tapes have a big deal to do with it, I think they do. And it's not, again, I am not talking about the tapes being in a court of law. I'm talking about who's seeing these tapes. Who gets to see these tapes? I don't think it's right that they're doing this to people. I really don't. I don't care what people do who are legitimate people. And listen, when I was younger, they had Rock Hudson and Jim Neighbors and all these phenoics. So I just don't know. And I don't know. Hunter, thanks again. Thanks, 10 for the 10, Hunter. I appreciate it. Thanks for the other one. I really appreciate it, guys. It means a lot. Thank you, Gabriel. Appreciate it. What will happen to Diddy? You think he is a pedo? If Diddy goes to prison as a pedo, Diddy's done for. There's certain things. You got to remember, people in prison have kids. They don't like the pedos just as much as anybody else. And the guards aren't going to protect them because the guards have kids. So if that is all true and found, I don't care how much money he's got. Lou Pearlman died in prison. Lou Pearlman, I messed with. He was one that did stuff with the Backstreet Boys and all that and stole their money. He wasn't well received in prison. Jared Kushner not received well in prison. Jared Kushner, I'm sorry. Jared, what's the Subway guy? Fat Jared. I don't know what the hell his name is. I'm losing it there, guys. But that's what I think. So it's crazy. Larry, I'm 21, was diagnosed with DVT, and it broke off and went to my lung. I feel you want to. Oh, wow. 21, and it went to your lung. I feel for you, man. I really do. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate that, but I hope you're all right. Listen, a pulmonary embolism is not a joke. Doctor says you got PE. I go, what do you mean PE? I didn't go to the gym today. It's not physical education today. Nah. But, I'm lucky to be alive. I'm sure you are too, Bunter. And I just think it's I hope you're all right. Our health is one thing. That's why I don't believe in what happened with the Diddy people. If it's true, and I'm emphasizing because I just did a video on let's give him a shot, and I still believe that. I want to see hard evidence. I want to see people come to the stand, and I want to judge them. I want them to be judged by a jury of their peers. Did you hear what I said? I don't want to see my mother on P. Diddy's jury. Or I don't want to see anybody who is not maybe in the maybe call it, the sex game, if you want to call it that. Because that wouldn't be right if people judged him because he had an extramarital affair or he had gay sex or whatever. That's not illegal. And it's hard for a person like my mom or somebody to say, hey, put that aside. And that's what it is. If he had a bunch of old people on the jury, he's done. And that's not and I don't care if they are black or white or a Martian or whatever. He does not have a shot. And I think it's going to be hard pressed to find a jury of his peers. You hear what I said? Remember who his peers are. Young rappers, African-American community more, probably people of wealth, some of them at least. And now they have to know the computer. And if they know the computer, otherwise they're not his peers. How are they gonna not know about this case and not make judgments? And I love people. They'll say, "Hey, Larry, I mean, I read something on that case, but I could still keep an open mind." Could you? I don't know if I could. I think I could now in life, but there was a time when I couldn't. I mean, I was all the bullshit, hardcore crap, and I think it's sad. So I think there's things that have to happen, guys, to make this a legitimate case of P. Diddy getting a fair trial. Now, after today, let's put it this way. If I was 50-50 in the middle of the road, there's somebody pushing me in the back, pushing me towards that. This guy is really messed up. And I really mean that. And I don't like to be like that. People should know that. I am not one to, I don't judge because I've watched so many and I've read so many cases. Listen, I did the law for 10 years in federal prison, and I can tell you I've read thousands of indictments, thousands of informations, thousands of FBI 302s. That's the FBI reports. I've read thousands of those, guys. I studied that 18 USC and every damn other United States Code of Criminal Justice. We need to step back and be the country we are. Listen, the United States was formed with three branches of government: the executive branch, the president, and that whole area; the legislative branch, Congress, Senate; and the judicial branch, which was the judges. And they're all made to work slow, and they're all made to get it right and not make judgments on a whim, or don't make a judgment snap to. Make a judgment because it's got facts. Make a judgment because it's good for all people. A lot of people said, "Larry, what would you do?" I'll tell you what I would do. First thing I think I would do, and I mean this, is I would take and get rid of a lot of the bullshit laws that are way outdated. We have legal books that are so outdated that it's illegal to masturbate, or it's illegal to have anal sex in some states. Listen, I don't care what people do, but don't make stupid stuff like that illegal. We need to take those things off the books. We need to start evaluating how we look at crimes, and it should be first from a common sense point of view. And if it has to do with children, they should get the severest penalties. And I'm saying that. Now, if it has anything to do with he say, she said, they did drugs, how many people at these parties knew about the drugs and knew they did the drugs and they would have offered them? When I read that P. Diddy gave people the IV drips to recuperate, that's a known thing, guys. I know. How about if anybody knows the internet? How about the Nelk Boys? They did it. They're sponsored by that. How about Kill Tony? They sponsored by some of that. That's not illegal. Let's get that straight. It is not illegal. So, and what rapist, if you want to call them, gives their people rejuvenation stuff? And please don't say it's to continue the sex. I don't buy that for a minute. Once you're done, you're done, and people would be done. And I think we know that. I think everybody knows that. And I hope they would. Hey, Kara, how you doing? Diddy didn't do it. He is going straight to the wood chipper stop, no questions. Yeah, he might be. He definitely needs more men in the jury because so many black women have been through so much. That's a good one, ATM. That could be true. Kara Cox, pretty sure YouTube comments aren't court of law. Of course they're not. Everybody has an opinion, even myself. I'm looking at some of the comments now, guys. Larry for president. I think I'd be a good president. Bob, state facts, not opinions. Well, you're telling someone, listen, everybody has to have an opinion. There is no facts yet. The only facts there is, everybody, is Diddy's in jail. And Diddy is been charged. That is a fact. But the fact of the matter is he's only been charged with 3 things. racketeering, influence, corruption, organization, sex trafficking, and transporting individuals over state lines for the reason of prostitution. That is what he's charged with. Now, again, I don't know why the feds didn't jump off the jump. If these law firm that got it today has what they say they have, and listen, if they're lying, if they are coming out with a news conference and lying, I hope they're all sanctioned. And I don't think they can do that because I think that's against the bar. Lawyer ethics. They're held to a different standard because lawyers are officers of the court. People don't know that. So they are held to a standard. Like when I did legal cases, I didn't have to speak in what they call legalese, which is all the proper legal terms. You can kind of get away with a lot when you're pro se, which the word pro se means for oneself in Latin. And that's what pro se means. You defend yourself or you represent yourself for oneself. It's stupid. Obviously, being a pro se, they say a person who has a pro se client has a moron for a client. I forget that term already. I'm thinking about something else. But I want everybody to just get it right in their head that we are at a very slippery slope right now. Again, all of this comes out. Is the government doing that on purpose? Are they? Are they doing that to scare more people? Once Diddy was arrested, all these people came forward and called this law firm. What worries me, or not worries me, why did all these people call this law firm? Law firms are notorious for putting out, if you had been associated with asbestos, call our office. You might be entitled to blah, blah, blah. Are they doing that to really get the notoriety, or are they getting that to get a lot of money? Because if they already have 120 clients, and they said that they had 3,200 and something, which shows me, which is not a great number to show, because now it's showing me if you didn't take those other 3,000, how many are bullshit, and how many people are bullshit, and how many got through your kind of people. Listen, even if it's 1 or 2 or 20 or 50, if there's a legitimate number of people and anybody was abused as a kid, and there's ways to approve it. I did hear some stuff that really disturbed me as well, that these guys had custody over the kids. Their parents gave them that. So I'm questioning those people. Are you going to bring them there and give custody? Little confusing to me, guys. Little confusing. All right, civil lawsuits, press conferences are like talking shit of your opponents during the weighing. Says that is good truth, Frenchie. I do agree with that. It's just that, what kind of reputation does this law firm have if this all comes out and crashes? It's found to be the guards or somebody else or somebody assistant and stuff like that. I don't know. I was watching a show about supposedly P. Diddy's assistant. Supposedly he was his lover or whatever after that or before that. And, if that's what's making the news so sensationalized, then we're missing the point here, people. Who gives a shit? I can imagine these tapes, man. I'll tell you what they need to do. The government needs to open an OnlyFans if they got tapes, and it's pretty wild stuff. And if they had an OnlyFans of these guys, you know how much money they'd make? Forget about it. They'd make billions of dollars. And I don't know. And I really am at that juncture. I want to see somebody else come out. And somebody who was participating. I told you in the beginning, to have a RICO, you have to have 2 or more. And there's only one person on his indictment. That means they have to come down with somebody else. They have to unseal something or come down with something. So do they have unindicted co-defendants? Do they have obviously he could have a lot of people, and then they turn state's evidence, or you call it state's evidence, and they call state's evidence. And now Diddy's going to have a lot of people going after him. And that could be, some people get sick of that and say, wait a minute, now I think it's bullshit. everybody. And how credible are the people? I mean, I don't know. Are the people messed up? And I don't want to judge the people, because if they were abused and now they messed their life up, if you want to call it that, I feel for them, because that will mess your life up. People who know my story, and I don't even like to mention, even though it's in my book, I was abused at 11 years old myself, and I don't like it. And that was a person of authority, a person of you can't say anything. It was in the church. If anybody hasn't read my book, Gangster Redemption, you can go to my website, realitycheckprogram.com, and check it out. Just realitycheckprogram.com. Check it out. And it's usually in the links of any of my videos on YouTube as well. So I look at that, guys, and say, wait a minute, we're in a dangerous spot right now. I believe that in all my life, that right now, what are we doing? What are we doing? We are in a dangerous spot. Let me jump to a quick little bit. Yes, I'm sorry about that. We had me hitting buttons. Does everybody hear me? I hope I didn't mess that up too bad. But now it's down to 100 victims accusing him. 100 now gone down. Agree, Larry. I'm glad you do, Boho Hobo. I really do. And I'm not just saying that because I want people just to agree. I want people to agree for the right reasons, so to speak, if you want to call it that. I just don't want people to, just because, listen, I try to give you as much facts as I get. I get a lot of my facts like you get. I just maybe read into them a little bit differently. I do read the indictments, and I read the informations, and I read stuff like that. Tupac was gay. Somebody's saying Tupac was gay. Maybe he was. I don't even know. Out of 120 people who are accusing Diddy, there are some minors. The young, yes, I read that, Calamity, and crazy. And an actor, Harry Roper. Not sure about him killing Biggie, but yeah, he's gross. Listen, I haven't heard Meek Mill say he was abused. I haven't heard Justin Bieber say he was abused. Maybe he was. Maybe he's not. That's a hard thing for anybody. Believe me, I know. And that's the truth, guys. It's harder than you think. No means no unless you pay enough dough. Well, that's true. Well wish to you. Thank you, man. I appreciate the well wishes. I think it's 3 or more. No, it's 2. It's 2 or more. 2 or more for Rico. Not 3. You have to have 2 or more predicate acts too, which is a whole different animal. I have a question. Do you think Diddy going to survive? Depends. If Diddy goes to jail for anything to do with a child, he's going to be in protective custody. He's a target automatically because of his money. And people would just love to, hey, it's good. Listen, you got guys with life sentences. The guys that killed Whitey Bulger, a guy named Freddie Geese in Hazleton Penitentiary. And I was in penitentiaries. Matter of fact, I got to do a video with my old cellie who just got out of. If he ever gets on and listens, his name is Lee. Great guy. I really want to give him a shout out. And I'm posting something for him. So if you guys see it, help him out. Lee did 32 years. He was my first cellmate. And we were in a pretty bad prison together. We were in Atlanta. It was a zoo. It was the toughest prison in the BOP at the time. And this is back in 1996, 97, 98. He was there from 94. So rough place, really rough. And we survived. But Diddy won't go to a place like that. Not a chance. He's not a chance Diddy will go to that place. That I'll tell you now. Protective custody sucks, though, especially being there. Yeah, it would. But they wouldn't be in protective custody all the time. They'd go to what they call a cheese factory. But we call them a cheese factory. It's a It's a place where they put rats and they put cops, stuff like that. They charged him with RICO. Yes, somebody just said they charged him with RICO like he's in the mob. How can they prove he was running? I agree with that. The RICO charge to me is bad because the main part of a RICO part, they made RICO in 1970. And they made the RICO Act to get mobsters, to get organized crime. And they got it because the head guy was profiting. Obviously, Diddy was not profiting. He wasn't making money. He was costing money. Now, people can say, but Larry, profit could be him having sex with you. You're right. I get that point of it. But the RICO is being used too wide. Listen, I'm telling you now, right now, you can make Congress an organized crime organization. You don't think Congress is doing half of this crap? I mean that. Comment on that, somebody. I will bet you I hear and know congressmen and know state congressmen, state senators, United States senators, United States congressmen. I hear what goes on in those places. And damn, they damn near have a bathhouse in there and their jacuzzis or their steam rooms and whatever the hell they got going on up there. And listen, are they an organized crime organization? Think about it. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. Think about it. And you'd be surprised. I don't know if he did or did not. To jump to conclusion, I have an open mind, but if this is business legitimate. I agree. I don't know. Well, they're doing that because they want to take his money. That I do. Matt Gates loves buying books for schoolgirls via Venmo. You know, Matt Gates is under a lot of scrutiny, and they say he still is, but I haven't seen shit happen to him. A lot of people want me to comment on the Vince McMahon thing, and I'm going to do that as well. Let's go skydiving. I'm in. People want me to try, but I'm a little too big. I'm actually lost weight. I'm down to 233. Because if he found guilty, the government is going to forfeit all his assets. Yes, they are. The government doesn't play fair either, people. And if you think they do, then you've just been living on another planet. And please don't be one of these brainwashed people. You know, they always say, don't believe everything you read or see. Get your own information. Give it time. That is why it's good, and especially today, you know, with AI and all that crap. Somebody sent me a fake of me, and holy shit, I thought it was real. I said, I never said that. And then they said, no, and then they admitted. If you speak enough online, and if you're somebody who's got a YouTube channel or anything like that, there's enough verbiage out there of me that they can put anything together, which is scary. The elitist don't suffer. That's true, but maybe he pissed somebody off. We do know that. Will Diddy get touched? Yes, he will. If it depends. Again, I mentioned that already. The government steals and cheats within the system. The mob steals outside the system, and I think it's great they don't have a monopoly. You know, it's scary shit right now, man. We are at a really, really tough time, people. And I want everybody to understand that. And I hope people understand what I just said by that. Dark Knight, thanks for the 5 again, buddy. Man, I remember you the other day answering a question. What is your thoughts on Diddy's ex-fiance and all her claims and Cat Williams? His ex-fiance, the one he gave the $30 million, she did claim that and all. I don't like that he beat her, but we don't know the whole story again. Who's to say that lady didn't steal an $800,000 diamond watch from him and run out? I didn't say he did that. She did that. We don't know because we're not, privy to the inside information. As far as Cat Williams, he was spot on, but Cat Williams, when he said all that stuff, didn't say anything that was illegal. He said, they wanted him to get involved in it. And he said, Cat Williams is funny. And he was spot on. And he said what he said. And he sticks by what he said. So do I believe some of it? Yeah, but none of what he said was illegal. He just said that, you had to go to parties. And listen, what businessman doesn't, what people don't have to go to parties or functions or golf outings and do things? Who knows? Bob, RICO charges can be beaten. Several high-ranking members of the Gen. Yeah, I know about them. You kidding me? Know it very well. That was my guys. RICO's hard to prove too, because you're trying to get people down low with bad records to begin with, usually, and they're the ones testifying. What's their credibility? I often think like that. I feel like way more is going to come. I agree with you, Kara, 100%. I do think more is going to come out after hearing these attorneys today. If these attorneys turn out to be bullshit, then that law firm should close. I'm not saying they are. And if they are duped that well, they're trying to play a game. They can't be duped that well. So I do think there's going to be some truth to it. Again, the underage allegations is what really, really I can't support in it. There's no support. I don't think anybody can support that. I really don't. I don't think any man on earth can support that. I hope not. Should we make at least victim number 3 or 4? What are the Usher, Justin Bieber, 25 minors, including 9-year-old? You know, we don't know. They say Usher was 14, Bieber was whatever, 15, 14. I'm not hearing them say it. If they're on tape, if they're on tape and everything else, and if there's if there's juveniles on tape, it's bad enough there's tapes. Listen, people have porn tapes, sex tapes. Guilty. Never would there be a juvenile. Are you kidding me? I ID if you're under 30. My point is, who would put kids on tape? This is sick shit now. And if they did that, not only they should go away for being stupid. Can someone give me a tiny insight on what this P. Diddy shit is? Because I have no clue what's on. Austin, P. Diddy has been charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transporting people across state lines for commission of prostitution. What's been proven yet? Nothing. He has been arrested and he is in prison in Metropolitan Correctional Center in Brooklyn with no bond. That's kind of tough. It's hard for me to believe. What are the chances of him being sent to max security? Again, Harry, he will be sent, or not Harry, whoever, unknown. He will be sent to a cheese factory, which is a place where they put high-profile cops, snitches, that kind of stuff. He's not going to end up in a, Hazleton like Whitey Bulger did, and they killed him. They killed Whitey Bulger within 12 hours. Matter of fact, I looked at something. You guys can go look. And if you go look online, I should bring that up. I did not know this. This is kind of wild, and I'm going to have to bring it up. And I have to only bring this up because somebody brought it up to me. And if you look at, I'm going to bring this over and present this, and I have to do it. I think it's the only right thing to do. And this is pretty wild. That's all I'm going to say. This here, I don't know if I can move this. I think I probably could. I don't know where to move it to, but let me do it this way. If you look at this here, and this is the United States Penitentiary. Let me see if I can do this and the right way. This is the United States Penitentiary Wikipedia, notable inmates. So someone called me and said, hey, Larry, I didn't know if you knew this, but you are on the same website as Al Capone, Whitey Bulger, Jimmy Burke, blew me away. So I look at here and you got Whitey Bulger. This is people. These are notable, as you can see over here. I'm going to highlight it. Right here, people. Right here. Notable inmates, current and former, in the United States Penitentiary, Atlanta. So you have where I went way past where I should have, and I want to just bring you here. Federal Correction Atlanta history. This place was built in it said open in 1902. I thought it was 03. I probably opened in 02, and it brought inmates in 03. Very, very bad facility. Notable inmates. So look at the inmates that they're notable on this one. There you go. Maybe you can see it a little bit better now. You got Whitey Bulger, Mickey Cohen. The old. He actually came from federal Alcatraz. Alcatraz was a federal penitentiary. I don't know if people knew that as well, which is pretty wild. Now you have James Burke. James Burke was Lufthansa, and he was in Goodfellas. He was the main character in Goodfellas, played by Robert De Niro. And the biggest cash heist act at the time was that Al Capone. Yeah, I know. That's not good. I guess that I'm on the same web page as those guys. Vincent Papa, Nicodemo Scarfo. See, Nicky Scarfo here. I used to walk the track with Nicky a lot. Nicky's crazy too, but he was actually a nice guy. And Nicky was from Philadelphia. He was the mob boss in Philadelphia. So him and I were on the same place. Ponzi, where they named the Ponzi scheme, was there. Charles Morris, I don't know who that is. Eugene Debs, don't know some of them. Marcus Garvey, I don't know who he is. Founder of Universal Negro Improvement Association. Campus, don't know him. President of the Puerto Rican National Party, Enrique Tarrio, convicted of seditious conspiracy and other things. January United States Capitol attack. He's there now. That's just now. I wasn't there, but they put him there. Ed Norris, which was a Baltimore police commissioner. Caldwell, William Kobuck. Roy Gardner, notorious bank robber and escape artist. He was there. See Willie Aikens right here, guys. Willie Aikens. Willie Aikens, I used to play on the same softball team with Willie Aikens in USP Atlanta. So I was with Willie Aikens. There he is, Larry Lawton. Yep, I am in there, and that's my number. And when I was released, that's pretty wild to see yourself in there. And it tells you how long you served there, where you went from there, what you did, and who you were. And at least it has me where I help people now, which that makes me feel good at least. So now who is this scheduled for release in 2024? BG Dorsey. I've been known stage name BG. I don't know him. Paul Nicholas Miller. Who he looks familiar. 40 when he was there after me. American Far political comic streamer known only as Gypsy Crusade. I don't know him. Alan Mad, Daniel Kilgore. Those are the people that are in USP. And now they get information from everywhere. So they got their, you can look me up, and I don't know where it is here now. I'm all over the place on this thing. So pretty wild. Pretty wild. But it is what it is, so to speak. Crazy. Anyway, that is USP Atlanta, guys. And that is where they will, obviously me, Gambino Crime, family, my number, BOP. All right, let me get out of there. And I had to just show you that. And so anyway, guys, it's pretty wild that you see yourself on it. People showed me that. I was actually on another website for Lehman High School in the Bronx. And myself and Bobby Bonilla, who else? French Montana, the girl, the singer. So there's a bunch of that kind of stuff. Oh, wow. Actually, how are the prisons in New York City? They suck too. New York is not a great place to be anyway. I don't care who you are, guys. Simple. Do you think that Diddy's going to snitch to possibly get it? I don't know Tim, I don't know who he can snitch on. That's his problem. Who's Diddy going to snitch on? Really? Who? I don't get it. Who can he snitch on? Crazy. Who can he snitch on? Barack Obama? Oprah Winfrey? Let me tell you something. What's got me messed up, people? If Oprah Winfrey is on this thing or doing something, I think I'm done. I've seen it all. First of all, who wants to do it with Oprah? Not my type. None of them are. Sorry to say it like that. Is Lamana still alive? I don't know, Max. That piece of shit. I thought I read where he left the Bureau of Prisons and went to private prison industries, whether it was Core Civic or Geo. Those are the two big ones. It used to be CCA, used to be Community Corrections and private prisons are the worst thing in the world. So I think it's that. I keep trying to email. Email who? If you email me, you can email me at Larry Lawton Jewel Thief at Gmail. Larry Lawton Jewel Thief at Gmail. Harry Robe, USP Atlanta, and the black box. They sure did black box me on Con Air like you were going to rip everyone's face off. You were treated so unfairly because you stood up to the system. Is exactly right, Harry. They really put me in the worst of the worst because I wouldn't snitch, and they knew it. And if you think they play fair and they wouldn't do that, then you're just naive. I always say you're naive. You have hundreds, maybe thousands that will be willing to roll on anyone else in Sean Combs' case. Oh, they're going to roll. Trust me, they're going to roll. Kara, got it, good. How many past offenses do you need to order for you to get sent to man? None. I mean, I had past offenses, but you don't need that. It goes by a score for your violence or your crime. I watched a kid there who didn't belong there and get killed. Happened twice when I was in. It's sad stuff. So, they misclassified him. What a shame. They don't realize some people. These are kids. This might be somebody's father, somebody's brother, somebody's son, and they just don't care. And I'm not trying to sit here and be some liberal heart about the victims are victims, and we feel for that. But you can't change that. You just don't need to be abusing people because all you do is make the person worse. And when he gets out, now you really got a dangerous person. Does being in prison make you age faster, like from stress? Absolutely, Max. I'm only 30. I'm only kidding. I think I aged pretty good. I hope you guys did. Listen, I'm 233 pounds. I've been doing good. Maybe a little bigger today. I had a pot pie and a bunch of shit. But, yeah, it does. There's no question it does. You don't eat right. A lot of things that go on, guys. Prison is so fucking scary from those that don't belong. You're damn right. And there's a lot. If you don't, I'm not saying a lot of don't belong, but they don't belong in the facilities they are, and they don't belong getting the time they got. That's where it's messed up. Were drugs ever made in prison, or were they just? Well, we made alcohol. I mean, it's the only drug you're gonna make. Everything else we got in, and from acid to coke to ecstasy to pot. You name it, we had it. A lot of heroin in prison. Larry, if Lamana prison would be seen. If Lamana went to prison, would you be even? Would that be justice and an eye? If Lamana went to prison, I might go back. No, go get him. No. Max, that's a great question. I don't wish prison on anybody, but somebody like that, maybe yes. Because I think he just don't give a shit about people. And when you don't give a shit about people, you deserve to go where you were, in my opinion. So, yeah, I do believe that. Bob Dobbs, thanks for the 5. Appreciate it. Listen, Larry, if you smash Oprah, you'll be able to afford personal chef made. You're damn right. You good point, Bob. I think I got to do it. Absolutely. Listen, if you bang Diddy, you can get that too. Larry, how long do you think Diddy will get? Joshua, I have no idea yet if he's guilty. If he is, he's going to get a lot of time, and they're going to take his money. Wow. You know what? I think this, a lot of people might say it and believe it. I myself, if you guys have not seen a video, myself and a former guard of mine who was the head of the union, a prison head of the union in Jessup, Georgia, he was a guard of mine. He guarded me. I met him. He was a cool guard inside. He used to pull information for us. Ends up going to prison himself. Him and I did a show, and we explained exactly how the BOP was complicit in killing Epstein. And I do believe Epstein was murdered. I really do. And there's nobody's going to tell me differently. Because I know the system and how it could have been done and everything else that goes along with it. Okay, takeaway. People always say, I can never do time. And I say, you'd be surprised. Yeah, absolutely, Frank. Take any drug to avoid the smell of house. Listen, I did a lot of drugs in prison. What are you going to do? You're there. Okay, take any drug. What? Larry, did you just say, somebody say, give me a picture of Lamana? Larry, is there a photo? I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question if there's a photo of Lamana. An answer ever. Yeah, that's a good question right there. Diddy's been secretly recording people at the parties to blackmail him so he could get him knocked off. You say that, Squawkabilly. A lot of celebrities scared. Oh, I think a lot of people are scared. I don't know. Listen, a lot of people have sex tapes, period. Maybe they wanted the tapes. I know a lot of people do. So what? And again, nothing illegal with consenting adults. And you're at a Diddy party now. That's another thing. Now, if he had a camera in the bathroom or a place that you expected privacy, listen, I have cameras all over this house. I have cameras all over my yards and stuff out of the RV. That's security reasons. I've been swatted. I understand what that shit is. It's scary. Real scary, man. Do you think Jay-Z is to Diddy as Epstein was to the Clintons? The Epstein case. You notice what I noticed? Nick and I were talking yesterday. In the Epstein case, right? How come it was all dead? You don't hear a word about Epstein right now. What about the logs, the flight logs? I want to know who went to that island. It's all gone. Swept under the rug. Why? If Diddy goes, do the tapes go? And here's again what really makes me worried. The government has got the tapes, people. The government. That's what these people should be scared of. Now you're a lackey for the government. When they tell you to do something, you have to do it. Think of that. That's what's really scary. I'll tell you what. If these tapes never come out and you see people changing who they were, acting the way they were, and the rumor that they were at the party, you can believe the government is pulling their strings. And I'm not being crazy. Just the way it is. They sure do. Bob lay off me. He did it live on last debate. What? That audio leak of Diddy and Meek Mill was crazy. Yeah, listen, that doesn't bother me. If he was banging him, what the hell? So what? That's between him and Meek Mill. They're both adults. Do you think Diddy would get a bail on his third attempt? I don't know what this come out just now. If this didn't come out, I'd say definitely. But now he's going to what they call the appellate court. The appellate court's the next court higher than the district court. And I've seen appellate courts make rulings you have no clue. So, and I think bail is a condition that should be given to most everybody. I always said they should have given El Chapo $100 million bond And if he jumps bond, so what? You keep his 100 million. He's out of the country. He's not going to rise his head again. Somebody else has taken over the organization already, so you're not stopping the drugs. And we don't have to house him. And we don't have to pay for his incarceration. Think about that. Think about what I just said. Do you think mental institutions should be returned in America? Absolutely. The prison system, that's what's happened. Most people, our prison system has become a mental institution, and it's way wrong, guys. Hey, that question, when is Big Ron coming on? Oh, man, Big Ron, he's in California. I love Big Ron, man. I miss that guy. Hopefully he comes on. Tellini's coming on probably tomorrow. I'll do something with Tellini, Paulie. Big Ron's, man, he's my buddy. They tell stories about me. We will be pals. I hope so. We need $10 billion for El Chapo. Okay, take the billion. I agree, long leg. Why not? Facts about the 100 million in El Chapo. Change your mind about it being a witch hunt. I wouldn't say change my mind yet. I never said it wasn't listen. I said let's wait until the information comes out. Let's wait until they go to trial because I'm still not convinced of anything. The government's the biggest manipulators, man. Don't ever think they're not, man. Oh. Facts. That's facts. Larry, would you have ever considered a career in the world of bikers like the Vegas instead of the Bob? What are your thoughts on biker gang and what life could be? I have a Harley Davidson, so it's not about being a gang or any of that crap. I was always into it for money. I grew up that way, and that's what I did. So, Larry, how do you think Osama bin Laden would be treated? He would be killed in a day. Well, they would put him in protective custody, of course. It's going to really look bad if Diddy gets killed. And nothing shocks me. It wouldn't shock me. Really would. But, boy, you want to talk. If people aren't questioning our government already, then you're just naive. And some people will be naive. And you can't do a thing about that, guys. Just can't. How long will Diddy last in prison? Would it be not before or after prisoners would kill him off like either pedo? He would be placed in isolation at a pedo joint, so that would help. Larry, he had been a snake since Biggie died. That might be true. I don't know it to be true. I didn't know them that well. The VP debates tonight. Wow, it is tonight. I think it's 9 o'clock, 8:30 and 9 o'clock. I don't know. I don't think anybody gives a shit. Does anybody vote for the vice president? I don't think they do. Larry, what do you think about Big Herc? He's a good guy. I heard about him. Never did anything with him. I would. I should reach out, or if you know him. I heard he's a good guy. But I don't know. I don't know as much about the YouTube. I know the guys, certain guys I know who I know. From JD to Michael Francis to people. I mean, I know them. But I mean, I don't know everybody out there. And listen, I don't have time to worry about things. I don't judge people. I don't know what they're doing. I hope they're opening people's eyes, and I hope they're changing lives. I hope they're at least saying to people, what the hell are you doing out there? Diddy is the biggest manipulator. Maybe so. Israel versus Iran, war thoughts. Israel will wipe them off the map in about a week if they want to, if they can. The destabilization of that whole area. Most guys on this platform and my channel are too young to know this. But we, the United States, destabilized Iraq by ousting Saddam Hussein. And if anybody knows that, if you're an older cat on here, you'll understand what I mean. Under the auspice of weapons of mass destruction. That destabilized it. They were, you had the Sunni versus the Shia Muslims keeping everyone in balance. But now you got it's crazy over there. So way above my pay grade, unless I was the president. 121 different victims have come out. I hear what you said. I just watched that whole thing. When they get outsmarted, they change the rules so they can win again. You know it. That is the government. I'm telling you, why don't you see the government? Listen, if you want to talk about an organized crime organization, tell me they're not. We watched the maybe I should. Should I put it on? I don't know if I can. How long would Diddy last in prison if he is convicted? Again, don't know. How many times did you think you were going to die? Oh, wow. Good one, Thomas. How many times? I think a lot. I was stabbed twice. Stabbed 2 people. Fights. I'd have to say a number of times. It is what it is. And I'm a survivor for whatever reason. Thank God. I don't know about all this. I don't know how deep that goes. The feds want a monopoly on organized crime if they get us outsmarted. That is so true, JBB. That's all they want. They want to control it. And sad as it is, that's the truth. You're not off. If he placed under isolation, how long? Again, you can be gotten anywhere, but how much do they want to get him? He's going to be gotten because somebody wants to make a name for himself. I don't vote for either wing of the party. I don't blame you. I'm a libertarian. I was being a turd, Bob. I don't get that. What did I do wrong? I don't know. Who do you think killed Tupac? I don't. I'm not a clue, and I wouldn't even guess. What do you think about the FBI? How come no one regarding this islands has been? I agree. It's like talking about it. Just stop. I just said that, DJ Lumpkins. 100%. All of a sudden stopped, and the FBI, just another part of the government. Don't get me wrong. They're good. Anybody tells you the FBI is not smart, that's an idiot. They got the money and the resources. Calamity, he definitely got Biggie smoked. Regards like he killed it. No, I think somebody did it. Then I capitalized off of him. This guy was just defending him. I am, Red. It's not about defending him. I never defended him. I defended people judging him too quickly. Go back and look at my video. We are even now. Even I gotta catch myself from judging him because it's not right. It's just not right, guys, and we should know that. ADX. I know exactly what the ADX is. He wouldn't go there. Not high enough at all. Clearance, security level. Maybe because of celebrity, but I even doubt that. As far as ADX, it's known as one of the top 5 worst prisons in the world every year. Just go Google that. They have such a high ratio to guard to inmate. You never leave your cells. There's a whole bunch of shit. Listen, I've been with enough guys who've been in them to hear about them. You got to get Gene Deal on the pod. Got to get Gene Deal, Diddy form of I would do that. Absolutely. How other person, but isn't that the guy that wanted to make money from the tapes? I mean, I'd question him about that. Larry is high. No, I'm not high, actually. Nope. Long leg. I'm not high. I'd tell you if I'm high. You know that, guys. Absolutely, I'd tell you. Not saying I won't after the show. I don't like Israel or Palestine. Both of them are religious zealots and murderers. Well, it's, again, not about like. I'm not religious myself at all. People who know me know that as well. So I understand where you're coming from. I do. And it's a shame that all these people die in the name of God. If there's a God that's putting Christians in heaven and not Jews, or Jews in heaven and not Muslims, and Muslims in heaven, not, it's all bullshit. Take it for what it is. You can have your religion, but man, have the compassion. The only person I ever really liked in all of religion was Mother Teresa, because that lady walked the walk. Period. Didn't live in glamorous castles and shit and all that. Hey, you yelling at me, guys? I don't know. And we put the Shah in place back in the day. We did. You're exactly right, JBB. We put Bin Laden, but yep, another one. He's right. Showing your age. Yeah, from HL, you got some points there. I am on a model system, but I am a model system. But the life of biker fascinates me. Can you understand those interested in the life of course. Listen, it's about camaraderie. It's about being part of a family, but that's what organized crime is. Saddam never had any weapons of mass destruction, but Bill Gates and Nina Fauci, Dr. Fauci. Yeah, you're probably right. U.S. should, somebody's got to be the global police. When you're the superpower, somewhat you have to be, but I understand that too. We need to stop. No, I think such a touchy subject, guys. All that. I hate to get in it. I feel, listen, you can say what you want, but this Hezbollah started this war with Israel. They started shooting rockets at Israel. Because if I lived in a house and you start shooting rockets here, you don't think I'm going to bomb you? That's just being real. I don't want to hear why. What people don't know, and I know somebody who knows this. Do you know there's more Muslims that live in Israel than people from Jews? Anybody thinks I'm wrong there? Check it out. Yep, you're right. Long leg, you 100. We're just talking about that GameStop thing with Dave Portnoy and all that. Wow, USC Lewisburg has a new terrorist unit. I live in Williamsport, close to Lewisburg. I was in Lewisburg too. You can look that up. Yeah, didn't know that. Have you ever seen Prison Break? Now, I did for the first season. First season was good. I think it got stupid. Wasn't that the one where they had a guy that tattooed a prison on his body? If that ever happened in prison, he'd be in the hole so quick your head would spin, and he would be on a plane in diesel therapy. This is unrelated, but I should do more GTA. I agree. Oh, GTA 4. I didn't see that. I find it amazing that people view the federal government as competent enough to pull. I don't know. You're right. Good point. But they're so dirty. Listen, when people run shit, it's going to be dirty. What are the biggest reasons you have fights? It's always over money or drugs or something of that nature. Very rarely over just gang shit, because it's usually the gangs for some money or something. There's a lot in maximum security prisons. You're not going to see. There's more convicts, so you see us against the guards. Even the Hispanics, the African Americans, the Asians. Pretty much we all stick together to a degree, and that's in the feds and the big time people, because there's some violent shit going on, and we try to stay against them. The guards, I mean. They are going to get him, and I don't feel sorry. I'm sure you don't. Not that I do either. I don't know him. People die every day. I don't know him. You think they already have inside men in the prison? No. What made me pursue a career? I found YouTube on a fluke. I don't know if people know that. I didn't even know what YouTube was in 1999. I mean, in 2019. 2019. I thought YouTube was to fix your glasses, like fix something. And then I was asked to go to New York for that. I did TV before that. I did a lot of news organizations and stuff. And when I did that, I got a lot of shit for that. Hey, listen. Someone asked me about that. We got him in. I signed them too. Gangster Redemptions. I sign them, and you can go to www.realitycheckprogram.com. Matter of fact, if you go on any video on my YouTube, just click realitycheckprogram.com. That's realitycheckprogram.com, and you'll see pictures of me as a gangster. So some cool pictures. Back in the day. So, me with Tommy Chung, John Oliver, Tommy Chung, all that kind of stuff. If you want it, reality check program, I think they're $23, something like that. Can't beat it. Really can't. What else? I had a couple other things to address. What were the biggest reasons you had fights with other inmates? You were the first YouTuber of the prison genre I started watching. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And I am the last that almost started it. I'm not one of the new ones. I'm one of the new ones, actually. Do more of these. I am going to do more of these live shows because I just figured out how to do them. I'm using a thing called StreamYard, so I can do it myself and do it easy. And this is already set up, so I'm going to do it just like this. So it's going to be fun. Diddy had a lot of people at those parties, including the industry politicians, and he filmed them all once. I think I think shit's gonna hit the fan in its own way. It's kind of funny to watch, I guess. Larry Lawton, what is the best way to stay away from the gangs and prisons? Listen, keep your nose to listen. Don't be pushed around, but you don't have to be accepted either. You know, people see that like maybe he's a rat. Just do your time. Get into the law library if you can. That's the best bet. Thank you, Lumpkins. You wish me the best. Jeremy, life is part of death. Yep, it is. Vice versa. Embrace the life. Absolutely, Bob. You said it right. I always say this. Life is about the journey because we all know the ending sucks. Nobody's come back and said, you know what? I'm happy I died. No. Have you pre-ordered GTA 6? Yeah, maybe I'm in it. Enjoy the decline. Get your popcorn out. Larry, aside from those involving children, what are crimes you do not condone or comprehend? What are the crimes? Anything like elderly. I don't like taking advantage of weak people. Listen, I don't condone any crime, if you really want to be honest. There are crimes I consider honorable, if you want to call it that, Max. It has nothing to do with children, and once you do that, there ain't nothing coming. So I don't consider crime to be that you condone. I mean, listen, you're robbing them, you're hurting somebody, you're doing something. Got to get over that shit, man. We all do. We really do. But that's it. All right, guys, I am going to close now. I got to go do a few things. I wanted to get this video out. I really appreciate you, everybody. Thank you for all the support on all the platforms. I really mean that. You all guys have been great. Thank you. We're going to be coming on more on all of them. I like to do it this way. I think it's going to be fun. St. Pete, I'm going to be there probably next week. Rich, the real, meet you. So, all right, guys. We love you. I love you guys too. Have a great day. Please stay safe. Make good choices. I'll see you in a few days.